Your outstanding Congressman Dave Loebsack is here. Your Mayor Matt Hayek is here. And someone who's been with me since we started our first road trip here in Iowa back in 2007. Your Attorney General Tom Miller's in the house. And all of you are here. It is wonderful to be here, and some of you guys know I just come from Charlotte, North Carolina, where we had an outstanding convention. Folks down there could not have been more welcoming. Michelle, what can I say? She was amazing. President Clinton made the case the way only he can. Somebody sent around a tweet saying, you need to appoint him Secretary of Explaining Stuff. Which I thought was a pretty good idea. And then Joe Biden was all fired up. He was ready to go. And then last night I did my best to lay out the stakes in this election, which could not be higher. Now, you've seen both sides make their argument. And you know now what a fundamental choice we have ahead of us. I honestly believe this is the clearest choice that we've had in my lifetime. Because it's not just a choice between two candidates. It's not just a choice between two parties. It's a choice between two fundamentally different visions of our future, where America goes. Ours is a fight to build that basic bargain again that created the greatest, largest middle class and the strongest economy the world has ever known. The basic bargain that says if you work hard, it'll pay off. That responsibility will be rewarded. That everybody gets a fair shot and everybody's doing their fair share and everybody plays by the same set of rules. From Main Street to Wall Street to Washington, D.C. And restoring that basic bargain is why I got into public service in the first place. I started my career working in the shadow of steel mills where folks had been laid off as jobs were being shifted overseas. And for the last decade, we've seen too many families here in Iowa and all across the country struggling with costs that keep rising even when paychecks don't. People racking up more debt, using credit cards, home equity loans, just to make the mortgage or pay tuition or put gas in the car or put food on the table. And all that collapsed in the Great Recession, where millions of innocent Americans lost their jobs and their homes and their life savings, and we have been fighting to recover ever since from that devastation. Now, our friends at the Republican Convention, they like to talk about everything they think is wrong with America. But they didn't have much to say about what they do to make it right. They want your vote. They want your vote, but they don't want you to know their plan because they know you wouldn't buy it. Because we tried it. All they've got to offer is the same prescription they've been offering for 30 years. Tax cuts, tax cuts, tax cuts. Got a few regulations here and there. Oh, and more tax cuts. Tax cuts when times are good. Tax cuts when times are bad. Tax cuts to help you lose a few pounds. Tax cuts to improve your love life. And whatever the issue, they've got one answer. Now, I've cut taxes for folks who need it. Middle class families, small business owners. Campaigning in Iowa back in 2007, 2008, I said, we're going to cut taxes for middle-class families, and that's what we've done. The average family has seen their tax burden go down $3,600 since I've become president. I kept that promise. But I don't know about you. I don't believe that another round of tax breaks for millionaires will bring good jobs back to our shores or pay down our deficit. I sure don't think firing teachers or kicking students off of financial aid is somehow going to grow our economy or help us compete with scientists and engineers that are coming out of China. I don't know about you, but after all we've been through, after the crisis we went through in 2007, 2008, I don't think that rolling back regulations on Wall Street are somehow going to help the small businesswoman in Iowa City expand, or the laid-off construction worker in Des Moines keep his home. We have been there. We have tried that. We are not going back. We are moving forward. And that's why I'm running for a second term as President of the United States of America. Now, I won't pretend, I told you last night, I will not pretend that the path I'm offering is quick or easy. Anybody who says it is, they're not telling you the truth. I never said it was going to be quick and easy. What I said was we can move forward. We can make progress. We can make things better. We can strengthen our middle class. We can rebuild a strong foundation for our economy. As Bill Clinton reminded us on Wednesday night, it is going to take more than a few years for us to solve challenges that have built up for decades. We know that. Today we learned that after losing 800,000 jobs a month when I took office, businesses added jobs for the 30th month in a row. We've added more than 4.6 million jobs. But we know that that's not good enough. We can do better. We need to create jobs even faster. We need to fill the hole left by this recession. We need to come out of this crisis stronger than we went in. I don't want to just get back to where we were in 2007. I want us to do even better. There is a lot more that we can do. You know, when Congress gets back to town next week, you don't need to call Dave Wolfsack. He's already on the program. But you can tell some of these other congressmen to give middle-class families and small businesses the confidence they need by telling them that their taxes will not go up next year. Everybody agrees we shouldn't raise taxes on the middle class, so let's get that done, and let's get it done now. What's the holdup? What's the wait? And by the way, we could create 1 million additional new jobs if this Congress would pass the jobs bill I sent them a year ago. Jobs for teachers and construction workers, and folks who've been out there looking for work for a long time. We can do that, but I need your help, Iowa. I need your voice. You know, I want to make this point. At our convention, I wasn't just asking for your vote. I was asking us to rally around an achievable set of goals for our country. Goals in manufacturing, and energy, and education, and national security and defense. Real, concrete goals that will lead to new jobs and more opportunity and rebuild this economy on a stronger foundation. That's what we can do in the next 4 years. That's why I'm running for a second term. For those of you who missed it last night, let me just repeat what I want us to do. First, I've got a plan to export more products around the world and outsource fewer jobs around the world. So, the good news is, after a decade of decline, America's created over 500,000 manufacturing jobs in the last 2.5 years. We reinvented the dying auto industry. It's now back on top of the world. So, we need to build on that progress. And you've got a choice. You can go along with the other folks and give more tax breaks to companies that are shipping jobs overseas, or we can start rewarding companies that are investing in new plants and equipment and training new workers and creating new jobs right here in the United States of America. We can help big factories and small businesses double their exports. We can create 1 million new manufacturing jobs in the next 4 years. You can make that happen. But I'm going to need your help. Second, I've got a plan to control more of our own energy. You know, after 30 years of inaction, we raised fuel standards so that by the middle of the next decade, your cars and trucks will go twice as far on a gallon of gas. That will save you money and it will help our environment. And we've doubled the use of renewable energy. Especially here in Iowa, we've got thousands of Americans who have jobs today building wind turbines and long-lasting batteries. And today, the United States of America is less dependent on foreign oil than at any time in nearly 2 decades. Think about that. So, now you've got a choice between the other guys who want to reverse on that progress or those of us who want to build on it. See, unlike my opponent, I will not let oil companies write this country's energy plan. I'm not going to let them collect another $4 billion in corporate welfare from our taxpayers. We've got a better path. I want to keep investing in wind and solar, clean coal technology, farmers and scientists harnessing new biofuels to power our cars and trucks. I want to put construction workers back to work, building homes and factories that waste less energy, and retrofit buildings so that they're using less energy. And we can develop a 100-year supply of natural gas that's right beneath our feet and do it in an environmentally sound way. And if you choose this path, we can cut our oil imports by half in 2020 and support more than 600,000 new jobs in natural gas alone. But I'm going to need you to keep moving forward on this energy agenda. We can't go back. Third, this is great, but you haven't even heard the third thing yet. Number 3, I've got a plan to give more Americans like you the chance to gain the skills they need to compete. You know, education was the gateway for opportunity for me. It was the gateway for opportunity for Michelle. All of you who are students here understand this is the ticket to a middle-class life. So, what we've done over the last 3.5 years, for the first time in a generation, nearly every state has answered our call to raise standards for teaching and learning. Some of the worst schools in the country have made real gains in math and reading. Millions of students, maybe some of you, are paying less for college today because we finally took on a system that was wasting billions of dollars on banks and lenders. We cut out the middleman. Let's give those loans directly to students. The money we saved allowed us to help millions of more students. Student loans and grants out there for folks. So, now you've got a choice. You can go with the other folks' plan and gut education, or we can decide that here in the United States of America, nobody should have their dreams set aside because of a crowded classroom or a crumbling school. No family should have to set aside a college acceptance letter because they don't have the money. No company should have to look for workers in China because they couldn't find the right skills here at home. That's not the future for America. We've got to have the best education system in the world. We know how to do it. We've just got to stay with it. So help me recruit 100,000 new math and science teachers in the next 10 years. Let's improve early childhood education.